Snyder man, Carbo man, do whatever a dealer can. Spin a deal any size, you got good stuff they will buy. Look out, Snyder and Carbo man. Woo! Comic art, comic books too. They've got lots of collectibles, old and new. At the shop or a show or two, got stuff to sell, they'll come to you. Hey there, there go the dealer man. It's a thrill to buy all neat stuff day or night. The expertise is high, but the price is just right. Snyder man, Carbo man, friendly neighborhood dealer man. Got the comics you're looking for, making you happy is their reward. Look out, you never know what sprang up. Comics and art to hang up. Snyder and Carbo man.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's getting there.
That's our new theme song. It's by the inimitable Chris Palmerini.
I should be ready in about
soundtrack.
6 years, yes.
Secaucus, New Jersey, it's
Selling Heroes with Mike Carbonaro. I'm Anthony Snyder.
And I'm Sharon.
Hi. How you doing, everybody?
We're all back on the one time. Wow. It took like 3 weeks for us to get all together, but we are all together this time, and we
all together now.
Finally,
all
we
together
missed you.
now.
I miss, you know.
We missed everybody.
Did you miss us?
We missed you, the fans. This is what we're going to call Adaption Month.
Adaption.
Transition, adaptation.
Go with the flow month.
Yes. Because for better or for worse, it looks like we're going to be around for a while, guys.
Yeah.
So here you go.
So you're going to get
have
lots
survived
more.
the purge.
Yes, we're going to have more comic books, collectibles, pop culture information.
We're going to do an expert's corner. So anybody that wants to know anything about a particular collectible, chances are I know about it. If I don't, I'll find out all there is to know about it. Anthony's going to talk about a piece of artwork and why inking is important in certain aspects, why certain panels are important. You know, talk about the art of art.
The art of art.
Okay? And maybe that'll be the name of your episode.
What makes it really
okay? You have a corner. And I want to do the expert's corner. And whatever it is, I'm going to talk about it. And these will be small little segments that we'll talk about particular things, like whether it's, for example, this is New York World's Fair, 1939 New York, original silver plate spoons that came out.
Was that the spoon that I was born with in my mouth?
There you go. No, that was, mine was plastic. I don't know what yours was.
Hey, when we moved back to New York, when my dad got rid of our apartment, we were washing Solo cups in plastic forks.
Yes.
So don't anybody think, oh, my dad was, who he was. But he cut me off long before I got to where I was.
Our first, do you remember buying our first set of metal? It was from the grocery store.
Yeah.
I remember the apartment you guys lived in.
Yeah.
The one with the, wasn't there a spiral?
That was the nice one.
Are you kidding? Okay. There was another one that was down the stairs or something?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was the one-bedroom studio. Not even a one-bedroom, it was a studio, and that's where you came over and gave me my first piece of art.
There you go.
That Hulk page, and I'll
It's
never
all my
forget
fault.
that.
And all of our furniture, all of our tables were comic books.
Yeah.
Yes.
I must have tried to buy them a half dozen times.
No, it was all reading copies. I started to read again, and that's what really launched me into getting involved with comics. I especially read and liked the Valiant Unity thing following those.
I made a living off of Valiant comics, especially those pink Harbingers.
Right?
Zero.
And the gold.
For like a year. It was great.
I remember you having, like, at your church show, you'd have a box of golds.
Oh, the gold ones were always cool. Yeah, Magnus Gold or whatever it was.
I won't say where they came from, but...
They came from the Valiant lair.
Yeah, but
it was
that's
great.
funny.
But one of my favorite lines, I was born with a plastic spoon in my mouth from The Who. There you go.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, excellent. So we were born with comic books in our pockets.
Another thing we were gonna we're not toying with the idea. We're moving towards the idea.
It's gonna happen.
I've been organizing a retail store
Yes.
It's absolutely magnificent. It's a square box. It's beautiful. And we won't be. We may not be saying live from sea. We'll be live from Leonia, which actually flows a little bit. 2 L's.
From Leonia.
You know, I can't wait for that to happen.
Heroes, the store, and we're doing this because one, we think it'll make us and our expertise more accessible to you, our fans.
Come on down.
Yeah, come on down.
I sold some baseball cards. I'm ready to spend it on comic books.
So you'll be the next contestant on The Price is Right with Carbo and Anthony and
Exactly.
Sharon. So that's...
Yeah, the store is beautiful. I went there for the first time literally yesterday.
I'm so excited. It's going to be
You say, what's in the 1,200 square foot box?
And we may be, and we may be moving to Wednesday, right? We may be moving to which is New Comic Book Day.
Yes.
So I guess we're going to have a new comic book person on to talk about the comics of that day. Whoever it is out there, I'm going to find you.
Comic books come out every Wednesday.
On every Wednesday.
That is
it used to be a Thursday. Okay, if I remember when I had my comic book stores in Queens, I believe it was Thursdays, and we'd go and pick them up on the Wednesdays at Seagate or that Thursday mornings. I got to research that and go back and remember.
No.
This is the 80s.
All the stores get them in on Tuesday
night,
and they put them up, and
they put them out on
you
Wednesdays.
can't sell them and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to be doing new subscriptions yet.
But why don't we have old comic books at cover price, like Omega Man #1s at $1 or whatever, at the $2? Do something like that. Have a special.
Yeah,
I'll start finding you some of that.
Old is new again.
Old is new.
We'll have.
Let's do that.
How about surprise boxes, mystery boxes?
Well, everyone does mystery boxes. I'm getting tired of those.
But they're for free.
Okay, for free. Yeah, everyone will go. There you go. I'll take one.
Yeah, you go. So when we get set up at the store and we're shooting from the store, like our producers we've talked about, and we're doing the show from the store, you can just pop by. We'll give you a mystery box, and if you bring a deal, that's an incentive.
And I'll do something with you. I'll split a really good comic book that we'll invest in. As a matter of fact, it'll probably be a Sergeant Fury 1 because that's my prediction for the month. And we'll put it in one of the boxes with a number, and whoever will get that number will call it out at the end of every month.
Well, I got enough stock to do 1,000 mystery boxes.
There you go. Okay. And I'm in, and we'll put it in one of the numbers in the middle.
Is stuffed.
That's great. That's great. I like that. And this is thank you to everyone, to the fans. I got amazing. I mean, it's taken a while. We've been on the air. This is our 19th episode? Not including 2 Doctor Who specials.
So what, 21st then, right?
Right,
I don't know. I think I included it.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Give or take. So we'll get, but I want to say thank you. I got such amazing feedback. I mean, from San Diego to the National in Cleveland, Ohio, the baseball card national, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
It's sports cards.
Yeah, well, it's everything. I bought comic books. I bought Amazing Fantasy 15 at the show.
No way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was great, and I made some friends. People I'd been in the card business with for like 20 years ago. It was great.
Yeah, that's funny. You were telling me stories about how people were actually glad to see.
They were happy to see me, as opposed to some of my friends in the comic book world.
Yeah, they can be kind of sick of you. But I mean, you know what?
Maybe jealous.
That's fresh.
Yeah, jealous.
That's fresh.
Jealous is a better word.
Fresh material. Fresh real estate for you to do deals in.
I want to say thank you, and I wrote it on the inside of this box. I want to say thank you to Anthony, my partner here, who I don't know how long
they're like
he
brothers.
can manage it, but nevertheless he stuck the course. I have to thank him for that.
This is how I manage it.
There you go.
Pharmaceuticals. No, I'm just kidding.
Sharon, thank you. I want to thank everyone, all the guys here at Be Terrific, all the staff, Adam
everybody.
for sure.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay, Mr. David Milch, Michael Artis, Miss Laura B. Okay, Anthony, Kevin, Gabe, my friend Uma, who's going from a girlfriend to a friend. But what can you do? I'm not sure how that works out. I guess if the guy was really cool and he didn't do, and he doesn't do really bad stuff, though, so it's okay.
Are you talking about yourself in the third person here?
Probably.
Okay.
My friend David Arnold, my dad, who's stuck with me, who's given me the best advice. July 4th, I was watching TV. My TV didn't work in my house, so we rented a room, hung out in the Holiday Inn. We're watching July 4th. He goes, Mike, I'm 91. I had a good life. Don't worry about me. I mean, it was so cool, and that kind of put my world into perspective. So, I want to thank him. I want to thank Cindy. I want to thank my friend Jamie and everybody at Be Terrific, and you guys out there, fans, because we got such, even at the little show we did, the Wayne show, the toy show, the feedback we got from everybody out there. Thank you for watching it. So we got to tell you more about stuff. We want to give you more expertise, and we really want to show you how to not just sell to us, fine, but how to make money in this stuff. If you want to know, it's fine. I put so many people and friends into business. It's crazy.
You know, we show a lot of stuff that and we do a lot of deals between each other, but we hope it's informative. And we know that we hooked up with a guy, a very substantial young man, who wants to be involved with us, and he wants to be involved with us. Because he sees that we buy and sell in the quantities that we do, and he wants that in his life.
And it's fun.
So if we can role model people and mentor people like that, I mean, that's what I do.
It just becomes someone else we can buy and sell to.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people consider why create your own competition? I don't look at it that way. I think it's like you're creating more people to do business with.
Was that one of your dad's idioms? What did your dad have said about that? Like competition and all of that? He was pretty good at figuring out.
He wasn't afraid of making enemies.
Right. No, but that's one way of looking at it, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, my old man, I mean, you know, if he felt like you screwed him, he would let you know.
Right, well, you do too.
But I don't get my business acumen from my father. I don't know. There's two things I learned from my father: how not to treat women and how not to treat money. Because my dad had very poor relationships with both.
So that's good.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah,
that's good advice for people out there.
George at the Paley Center, the Paley Center
for the 30 for
premiere for my dad's 30 for 30, Legend of Jimmy the Greek, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to hear you say that."
Yes, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, and then we saw her on Meet the Parents she was part of the Fokker family. Not the Fokker family. She was part of the Robert De Niro's family. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Yeah, no, she was in it. She was definitely in it. Was she the sister or the mom?
I don't remember who was who, but that one.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's like one of my favorite movies.
Anyhow, the point is, thank you, the positive response that we've gotten. So,
I mean,
that's all I need is a little bit of positive energy, and I'm going to roll forward.
I kept telling Mike, just give it some time. It needs to reach, and kind of coalesce. That's that word, about taking shape. And it has.
And a couple of people presented us with a few deals, and we're starting to buy some stuff, which is what we want. So bring it on.
Yeah.
We are ready.
How many selfies did you do in Comic-Con and stuff like that?
Oh, it was great.
It was
awesome.
New
autograph. Yeah, who wants an autograph anymore? You want a selfie picture with so-and-so.
Yeah, so... All right, so I talked a little bit last time about I was at my different pop-ups in San Diego and all that stuff. So we're still editing and getting those clips together from the deals and interviews and Sharon's Cosplay Corner that happened on the trip. But the one really, really big deal that Mike hasn't been able to cover yet is his Mickey Mantle deal.
I mean,
at the National.
Well, no, it was prior to the National. But where do you find a Mickey Mantle rookie, the Topps 52 rookie? But not just one, but two. And two of the Bowman Mickey Mantle rookies. And here's the one. The other ones are in gestation right now. They're all in negotiation to try and figure out who's going to own them after the original owner. And we'll go to the video and you'll meet the original owner and say hello. And there was the transaction that happened. And now,
cool. And
from Wisconsin, USA. Hi, Eric.
Hi, how you doing, Mike?
Okay, great. So here we are swinging on the porch, and
in Richmond, Illinois.
A beautiful house, by the way. This place is amazing.
Thank you.
And I think you told me it's up for sale.
It is up for sale.
Good luck with that. I think so.
Have a showing this afternoon. So.
In between, in the last 48 hours, I think we've done a little business.
Yes, we have, and I think we did some card business, which was very successful. Mike brought along his friend David Arnold, who also assisted in this and was very helpful in completing our transaction. The amount of money was inconsequential to me. Mike came here to get some cards, and David came to get some cards. And I think my real purpose in this was not only to maybe make a little bit of money on some of the cards I collected over my lifetime, but it was also to maybe find a really good guy in here and maybe just a little bit reintroduce him into the church. And I'm really excited to have done that. I think we cried a little bit and laughed a little bit, and overall I would recommend Mike is just a very fine businessman whose handshake is his word. So that's my feeling about this whole experience we had this weekend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we should show the folks what we transacted.
Yeah.
And part of it is, I guess now, myself and David, we're the caretakers of this until we find the next person who will have this as long as you did and enjoy it.
Sounds great.
All right, here we have it. Not one, but two Mickey Mantle rookies. The high number Mickey Mantle rookie from the 1952 Topps set.
Yes.
And here it is. Say hello to my big bat.
Right.
Right?
Right. To your twin brothers.
Twin brothers, right? And last but not least, just because he was also a New York Yankee, 714 home runs, George Babe Ruth.
Yes.
George Herman Babe Ruth, right?
Right.
So did you ever have anyone in your family that you remember? You're a serious baseball fan.
Yes.
Okay, that saw Babe Ruth? Was there anyone that, I mean,
No.
I know you told me your dad was born in 1920...
21.
21, right?
Yes.
So did
Yes.
you...
No, but they all hated the Yankees. Because
I'm
the
from
Yankees
Queens, so I'm a
won
Met
much.
fan.
I grew up in north of Chicago in Cub country. I was one of the few Sox fans. And I was one of the only people I knew who loved the Yankees in Illinois because, you know, they were so, but Mickey Mantle was always my hero. And I have a signed ball from him. I have a signed picture from him. And I'm proud to say that along with being a White Sox fan, I'm a Yankee fan. And
Wow.
a Mickey Mantle fan.
A Yankee in Illinois.
That's
there you
right.
go.
There you go.
Great. Well, Eric, thanks a lot. This is just the beginning of it. I told your wife that I think we should be friends. So I'm coming back to
will.
Chicago for a
Right.
Wizard convention in a month, and we're going out to dinner.
All right, very good.
Thanks.
It was a
Have a
wonderful
great day.
experience.
Hey, and now we're back from Mike's big deal that he did in the big
was cool.
national in Ohio. And
Ohio,
Cleveland.
what's high in the middle and round at the end? Ohio.
You in the 70s.
Well, there you go. Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And that's good. You know, that's Mike getting out on the road and making stuff happen. And that's what we want to bring you more of on this show.
So I want to go ahead.
Yeah, so our evolution here is that we want to be at a live location and be more accessible to people, not an intimidating TV studio that we've had some feedback on. So a live comic book store that you can come and we're there.
It's organic.
We
sell organic comics.
We'll do free estimates. We'll try to get you on the show if you want to be on the show.
We can
We'll
serve
do some
milk and
smaller
cookies.
deals with you guys, and we will be able to then evolve the show into showing these clips from these on-the-road deals that we did. So Mike's deals on the road, my deals on the road, Sharon's interviews with cosplayers, and my interviews with artists and significant people in the comic book industry as well. Like we have an interview queued up with Matt from CGC, a guy who is probably the most influential guy,
Influential and important.
yeah,
In our hobby.
in establishing, pressing, and improving books in a non-restored area, grade for graded comic
the hobby.
books. For the hobby.
It makes the books better without restoring it. Improves the grading curves,
Right.
improves the value, and it tenders the comic. It makes it better. It creates more books in the hobby of nice value, and more books means more people can collect them,
Right.
which is important. If there's a book out, a comic, and it's so rare, there's one of them. Sometimes that's not so good because you can't have it. Only one person can own it, and it's no fun at that
Yeah,
point almost.
in the classic
You know.
business sense, that's called market velocity. You need things selling. You know, I used to rep artists that didn't want to sell their stuff or only wanted to put a few things out. I'm like, no, you need to sell stuff so people get used to your price points, so I can improve your price points. Asad Rabik gave me all his stuff. And I used to get $1,000 for his covers. Now I've gotten over $10,000 for his covers. Why? Because I had the stuff to work with. I had the stuff, and I built his price points from 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 to 10. You know, and I just sold his Marvel
you sold
Avengers
the
1.
You sold that.
Yeah, I sold that for over $10,000.
Yeah, I may buy some of this art that you bought on this new deal, which we're going to tell them about. Just one thing I want to take it back. That's really cool. Can we get Assad for the Big Apple? Can we talk to him about that in March 9 and 10?
I hope so. Yeah,
we're going to have to do anything we can. We need him back.
We were able to do some good business, and he was very happy. He was happy. I sold some stuff. Yeah, I had him completely booked for commissions. So if you're listening, and you like Assad's commissions, like hit me up. I can get you on the list, especially for New York.
And he'll be here hopefully in March. But you called me on the road, and you just made it here on time, rushing. But both of you guys from the road, and you bought this amazing deal. I want to say one thing about the baseball stuff as to why the Mickey Mantle rookies, and there's kind of 2 rookies, and explain to the people. So Mickey Mantle's first year is 1951. His rookie baseball card is 1951 Bowman, the smaller card. His rookie Topps card was 1952. He played in 1951. There was no baseball card for Topps in 1951. His first Topps card, and it was a high number, meaning it came at the end of the year. So the 7th series or the 6th series. So they were less important. The season had been over already. People forgot about them. There's the story as it goes that half the stuff was dumped into the Hudson River of the high numbers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Mantle rookies are floating around. I think Roy Campanella is another one that's in the high number series. So the Mickey Mantle Topps card, besides being his first Topps card, which was the more popular company that produced it because they added the bubble gum. I had the bubble gum with
really?
it. Okay,
Topps
bubble gum. That was his thing. But Mantle,
that's funny.
There's no Topps Mantle for I believe it's 1954 or 55 because he signed with Bowman an exclusive deal. Oh. But then that didn't have that was just for those 2 years.
Was he the first guy to do that?
No, other guys did a few exclusives. That's interesting. I don't know, but I'm sure other guys did that. But anyhow, that's why the Topps 52, and it's just a beautiful card. If you look at it, it's just beautiful. And the key now to baseball cards, as having re-entered the business, grading comics is one thing, but grading cards is the centering. The centering on a card, the off-centering, the way it's centered. So you look at it and all the borders, the closer the borders are to equal amounts of white space on all, and just like a perfect picture, you want that piece to be centered. The more it's centered, the more value. 2 cards of the same grade that are centered more can almost go for double the price.
Oh, wow.
So it's quite interesting. And I love the baseball market. Of course, I always loved the non-sport market because that was a lot of fun. You know, that enters into our comic book world. But there you go. That's a little bit about baseball. I'm going to find out. I'm going to research it even more and tell you more and more. I'm going to bring in samples of all the Topps cards from the beginning on up. But Anthony, I'm really excited about this deal you bought because I saw some of the art I might want to buy.
I just have a follow-up question. One, we are seeing the chat, but only on Mixer right now, guys. There's been some transitioning,
adapting and transitioning,
technology in the studio. So we're only seeing Mixer chat right now.
The wire.
Just to let you know.
Wire.
I can't see it.
So as far as Mickey Mantle is concerned, what do you attribute the long-lasting, just the popularity and the fact that this value, that he played in the 50s, he had his best years in the 50s, and
MVP 56, Triple Crown, I think, right? I mean, that's amazing, right? Triple Crown is what? Home runs, average,
and
RBIs too,
and RBIs.
Right?
Yes.
Oh my God! I mean, to beat all of those, that's absolutely incredible.
And it's changed so much in baseball now. It's so hard to do. You can't be a power hitter and hit for average at the same time. It's just changed. It's evolved. I mean, you look at a guy like Mike Judge. He's hitting for power, but he's
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, Mike Judge. Whatever.
Wait, didn't you do Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, Mike Judge was Beavis and Butthead. Your favorite.
Yeah, I love them so much. Anyhow, we should have Mike Judge. Mike Judge, wherever you are. Actually, I'm going to want him for Big Apple. Jamie, if you're listening, We need Mike Judge for Big Apple.
Okay, so I have a theory about
that's
why
interesting.
Mickey Mantle has endured and how this price point has just, why is he the amazing fantasy
Babe Ruth,
15?
Mickey Mantle. Yeah, he is the amazing fantasy
He
15.
is.
Oh my God, everyone wants the Mickey Mantle.
Right.
I saw a 1.0 sell at the show, which is on the low end of the spectrum, and that sold for $10,500 like that.
Wow,
I
that's
offered
cool.
the guy $7,500. Like I was going to go up to like 85 or 9, and it was gone already.
So I think it's because like the guys our age, our dads, that guy was probably their favorite player. During the 50s.
Yeah.
Okay, so they brought that into the 60s, and then, if we were coming of consciousness in the 60s and early 70s, and, Mickey Mantle, Mickey Mantle, Mickey Mantle, so that now there's a second generation of sons whose dad's favorite player was Mickey Mantle, and it was just imprinted on them that Mickey Mantle was the best, Mickey Mantle was the best, and, that's just kind of carried it through a next generation. Whereas a lot of guys don't get carried through the next generation. You understand what I'm saying there?
I met a lady at the Thrifty in Cleveland, at the Thrifty car rental, and I was talking to her, and I had the mantles in my pocket, and I'm showing. She goes, "Mickey Mantle used to come to Cleveland when the Yankees came, and we were little kids then." She'd come over us, and he would sign the autograph, and he says, but she goes, he was really mean to all the trainers, and they're sipping beers and smoking cigarettes in the dugout. I mean, this was great. The lady's telling me, but she said she was like 8 or 9 years old. Mickey Mantle says, "I signed an autograph for the kids. Come on." So.
That's cool.
I don't know. It was a different time.
But somebody that was coming of age in the late 60s.
But she remembered him. And Mickey Mantle was the guy they went to see. They'd go to Cleveland, and they didn't care about the Cleveland Indians, but they came because the New York Yankees were coming to town, and Mickey Mantle was part of the New York Yankees.
Right.
So...
Well,
it was just one of those guys, the farm boy from Iowa, right? Wasn't that where he came from? I believe Mickey Mantle.
I think he was originally from Iowa, but then Dallas. He lived in Dallas.
Just had that,
he died in Dallas.
That American kind of good looks kind of thing, and just
the shucks kind of.
Yeah, and I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done books and movies on him, and he's just he's
Billy
there.
Crystal, a great performer and movie star, comedian. He made his movie, The 61. He executive produced it, and I don't know if he directed it, but about the Maris and the Mantle 61 season where they hit 61 home runs. Maris hit 61.
Maris Mantle hit 60. So I guess the point of this is, yes, if you invest in Mickey Mantle cards, it's going to be a solid investment. Unlike comics that are kind of constantly kind of evolving a little, 5%, 2%, and you get that constant evolution. A Mickey Mantle rookie card or Mickey Mantle baseball cards from the 50s and 60s are going to be nice, slow but steady investments. So and you want a high grade. And
here's a cool thing I want to show, just based on baseball, that I'm not. Here's a.
Can you see it? Look close.
I was a photographer back in the day and worked in advertising. Sharon, you want to show that?
Sure.
So this is an actual photographic print of Babe Ruth.
I believe that's at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, it's in Yankee Stadium. The old Yankee Stadium.
Wow, look at that. The house that he built.
No, he didn't build that one. He built the next one.
Oh,
That's
really?
The old one.
Really? This is Whoa.
Yeah.
So this got to be before 27.
Yeah, they didn't have open decks. Look at that. Look at that. That's not the Yankee Stadium we went to as a kid. No,
I think this early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah, sure.
That's a great shot.
So that's before the house that Ruth built.
This is for sale.
Yeah.
How much is that worth?
I think it's worth around $400 or $500. So I mean, if somebody
make us an offer.
Yeah, make us an offer. That's cool.
That's cool.
I mean, so you have the guy that really established baseball and stardom in baseball and superstardom in American culture.
Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, there's the, I think you have the
Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, and Wolverine.
Oh man, we were watching.
There you go.
We watched
Babe Ruth, Mickey. The heck with the Hulk. You got the Hulk is Babe Ruth. You got Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, and the Hulk. Can't go wrong with these three investments. Holy cow! In the world of pop culture.
We were watching Logan last night, Sharon and I, and I'm laughing, I'm crying. I'm crying.
I have to watch that again. I have to watch that again.
Really good.
Patrick Stewart deserved Best Supporting Actor.
He definitely
period.
No
Really?
question,
No
no
So
question.
wait, when was that movie released? Oh, that's already
Last year.
the awards were passed for that one.
So
that was
the
in
last
February.
ones were
Yeah.
the one he should have gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who they gave it to, but Patrick Stewart was unbelievable. He's amazing. His last line is like, "Oh, this is what life is supposed to be like." Logan, you know, stop and smell the roses.
This is cool.
He's like, "No, I'm not." Next scene, you know, he's dead.
He's back as the captain of the Enterprise again.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, wouldn't he be
I
a
love
great
him.
guest for Big Apple? Holy
Yeah.
caramba.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know he's, you know, he's made himself available before, and that's cool. And you know, like I know I went to a show in Philadelphia where they had all 4 captains, and that was all right.
Hey, did you get any comic book art in the art deal? I want to
so
look
you
at this.
wanna
I want to see this
deal.
art.
Okay, now this is a deal.
All right,
that
holy cow.
I'm coining.
Here we go.
I'm unveiling some of this stuff for the first time.
It's
all
like
of it. Now, what
hours.
I
You bought
have-
it hours ago.
I just got it this morning. I took it down from this doorman building in Manhattan on a
What building in
Bellman
Manhattan
cart.
doesn't have a doorman?
Here, Sharon, show that. So that's a Bellman cart, and I want to show this stuff real quick. This guy loves Superman. So here's a Jim Mooney Supergirl commission. That's a nice piece.
Nice. They're just talking about how Supergirl is one of the most important characters in the DC universe now.
Oh, yeah.
They finally figured it out, right? I saw that on my Google feed this morning.
Yeah, and I
Right?
saw where. Now this, you wanted to talk about like some strip art. This is a
Comic
Dale-
strip art.
Yes, Dale Messick from the 6th week of the his famous girl strip.
Oh,
And,
really?
Isn't she
And when is
beautiful?
this? I
You wanna
like
hang
this.
some of this stuff
How much
up?
does this go for?
They
Like
balance.
$400.
Really?
That's who is that? Come on.
I'll offer 2 right away.
No,
Test true.
I can't
So
do
this
that.
is comic strips. So comic strips, I mean comic books started with comic strips, and the comic strip, this is the Sunday newspaper. And you'd have, you know, a full comic strip. This is the full front page, and you have the comic strip inside. Okay? And that's where the comic books came from. There's your comic strips, and this is the original. This is from 1935.
Can you put some back?
Who's the artist on this Tarzan? This is Hal Foster.
That's Hal
This is
Foster.
absolutely amazing stuff,
This
right?
is one of my heroes, and you know him
You know?
and Bern Hogarth. So the Hal Foster and Bern Hogarth. But we're just
This
old
is-
enough to have remembered
this is-
where, you know, Sunday morning
So-
comics were a big part of our lifestyle. But
And
it's
Saturday
just
morning
kinda-
cartoons were
Yeah.
mine. You know, Saturday morning
Here's
was
a
it.
Terry and the
Here's another one.
Pirates.
Look at this Flash Gordon. Oh my
look at this
God.
Buck
This is
Rogers.
Alex Raymond Flash Gordon. I mean, the colors are, you know, you get a full page like that. I mean, this is fun to look at, but this is where this strip art came from this.
look.
And comic, I believe the word comic strip books. So you take out the strip, and there's your comic books. The
Look,
first
Babe
comic
Ruth.
book was made from comic
this isn't gonna
strips. Okay?
Look.
Funnies on Parade.
Babe Ruth saves the show.
There you go,
And
1930.
it's a merchandising thing. I bet you it's like 30.
35.
Yeah, I was gonna say
so there you
something
go. But
mid-30s,
comic
that's
strip,
cool.
books, comic, take out the strip and you have your comic books. Okay, so there you go.
All right. So.
And what's amazing about these comic strips is the value is almost nil, nothing, really,
Yeah.
really nothing. Something like this you could buy for $15, 10, 15, 20 bucks tops. Yeah, there's a number 1 on some of these and they could go for thousands, but thousands as opposed to the tens and hundreds of thousands that an original comic book will go for. These might be a good investment.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't recommend it, but they're cool to understand the history and where it came from. But this art
What's
is
this
amazing.
one, Anthony?
Okay, that's a Kurt Swan battle page where he's fighting a monster.
Oh, that's nice.
And then it has a little origin where the little super babies flying
there's
by.
the origin of Superman
Yeah,
in
that's
it.
cool.
That's great.
So that's a
What
nice-
year is this from? A 70?
The early 70s, I would guess, or
yeah,
late
yeah, yeah.
60s.
This is great.
Maybe 68.
Now, this is a Kurt Swan signature, or was that already
Yeah,
there?
that's a Kurt Swan signature.
Was that already on it?
Yeah.
But this is his autograph? Or no,
it's
this was
his
the.
autograph.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a fun page.
This is a real nice
You know,
one.
I'd probably
Oh, I
sell
think
that
I know
for
this.
like $575.
That's
something
it?
Like that.
For a
Yeah.
nice Kurt Swan page?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, oh, but this
How
is
much is the
really
Flash
cool.
twice up?
Okay, this is a Flash
Holy cow.
Infantino page.
Oh, man, with the
features-
trickster. Is that the
Yeah,
trickster?
that's a trickster.
The trickster. He's better than the Riddler. The Trickster, look at that. Oh, that's a cool page.
I've never heard of the Trickster.
Oh, yeah.
Show the difference in sizes.
What was the first Trickster? Flash 119, a little earlier, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
see, this is a twice-up page.
Twice up. Look how cool twice.
So I just got a bunch of this twice-up art.
Anthony, no one's ever really explained to me. You know the history of how the comics went from twice up to a single page?
Yes.
That's really interesting. I don't know it.
Firstly, it gave the artists a smaller format to work in that was faster for them, but it really had to do with the technology improving enough where they didn't have to work so big, and a smaller thing could be photographed and translated into the final product. So they didn't have to work this big anymore because the camera technology, the film technology, was improving. So that guys have even tried to work smaller nowadays.
And this is much closer to its final size in some ways. Did that ever have any impact or connection to it?
No, not so much. Just that they could work faster, and because they didn't have to draw as big. I mean, because this is the area. It all correlates to amount of time. I mean, there's what would you say? This much. Oh, it's almost half as much.
50% more plus,
50%
at least.
more, right?
When I had Frank Miller at my show, he had some of his originals that he had just worked on, and he loves working in the twice up format and creating this stuff.
He likes working big.
Yeah. That's it. Oh my God. So that's Superboy. Oh my God. That's a great one. Wait a minute. How much is that Flash page?
I'm gonna mark it like 2,500, I think.
That's it for a Trickster
this is
Flash
making me nervous,
page.
Anthony.
No, just put it up there. Come on, let's show some
sagging.
stuff. I want to make a wall of art.
It's time to buy some stuff.
Whoa!
Wow, this is super
we
cool.
got
Okay.
Superboy by
gonna
George
fall.
Papp. We got a Showcase, which I have to look to see and reference this. This is Sea Devil.
Is this in the, oh, this is 29. Okay, 20.
Which one was
29.
the first one? Sea
I think it's
Devils?
27.
Okay,
I
so
think
that's
Showcase
like
27, but it's
appearance.
real early. Nice. Is Russ Heath?
Yep. So that's the guy you want for that twice up art.
I had Russ Heath as a guest. I want to bring him back. Okay, let's bring everybody back to Big Apple.
Steve Wyatt,
it's time.
if you're watching, we
Steve
want Russ
Wyatt,
back.
come on, talk to Russ.
Now here's something that you can
How much is this one?
That looks great. I'm excited about that red frame.
1,800.
That's for a twice up page. Guys, this is incredible investments. I pay 18 for the Flash.
I think I can do better this weekend
man.
on that one, Yeah, I would hate
That's
to go
close
to
to your
Boston
25.
with it. By the way, we're going to be in Boston
By the way,
tomorrow.
tomorrow, tonight. I'll be there sometime tonight or sometime early 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mike today and him sell it for more tomorrow.
I will.
But I'll gladly pay you for a hamburger today.
And then next week, Boston, the week after that at Terrific Con, named after the Be Terrific Studios. No, or is it the other way around? But nevertheless, Terrific Con at the Mohegan Sun.
We are trying to work out a live streaming event from the Terrific Con.
Oh man, if we get that done, that'll be amazing.
Stay in touch with that. Now this is
send in your like we want to talk to some guests at Terrific Con.
This,
now who is this? I saw this.
Fantastic Four painting. I don't think it's a cover, but it's an interior illustration from well, it might be a cover actually. I'm not sure. I gotta find it. How
much is that?
I would ask like right at $2,000 for it.
Wow.
Okay. Now this is cool.
Which art am I investing in today? I like this.
Al Plastino, where Superboy is being inducted into the Legion of Superheroes for the first time.
A takeoff on Adventure 247.
Let's say it's a recreation.
Right, the first Legion of Superheroes, Adventure 247. Right. This is kind of a recreation of that cover.
There's another fantastic twice-up page that my lovely wife Sharon will show up for you. Now, this is
great.
Lois Lane, 62.
Al Plastino was still around doing stuff in 2008.
Wow, yeah, I guess so.
Holy cow, it's not bad.
Yeah, he looked like he still had his chops. Now, this is a great page because this is a twice-up Kurt Schaffenberger page.
Hey, look, it's got the 60s protest signs going on, right?
Schaffenberger.
There you go. It's mod and hip and cool.
Kurt was a great artist, and he was really especially known for his inking. So to get, here's another strip art that goes way back.
And you don't have to strip to buy it. There you go.
Look at this.
But you do have to strip your pockets.
Some of this stuff is valuable.
Now, this is a Chester Gould?
Yes, it's Chester Gould, Sunday, Dick Tracy. It was, let's say it was conserved because this is an original. but it was falling apart, and they had all the.
So there's your smartwatch.
Yeah, there's your smartwatch.
Okay, there it is.
Sharon,
it's exactly
your
that.
Radio.
It's no, I mean, and this is 1940, 54. I was gonna say 49. Look at that. So this is
Look
50.
At this technology that they're doing with a 3D camera.
50, 60.
Enlargements and a stereo shot with the 3D camera.
65 years ago.
And then that two-way wristwatch and stolen auto detail travels in.
Wow, that's a cool panel. That's you could pull that panel out of it and just make posters.
A t-shirt, yeah. Right.
That's a great one. That's a classic look of the square jaw, Dick Tracy, the hat, the watch. That's it. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of the movie, right? The Dick Tracy movie that Warren Beatty did.
Okay.
He kept going, I'm on my way. That was it. It was all color paletted in the yellow, and Madonna was in it. It's cool. It was an okay movie. There was some good parts to the Dick Tracy movie.
I remember when Warren Beatty was calling my house, asking my dad for stories about Bugsy Siegel when he was making the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Me and Sharon were in a locked room, getting busy when he called one time. Remember that?
I
Jimmy,
do.
this is Warren calling you back.
On the
Give me a
answering
call back.
machine.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. So some of this stuff is like some stuff you would like. Here's a War of the Worlds.
You made me think of my favorite Warren Beatty movie, Shampoo.
Oh, you like that?
Oh, that's it. That's
Where
the
he
one
had
for
your
me.
hair?
Yeah. There you go. Yep. He also had a couple of nice looking gals around. More than one.
That was
Holy
the
cow.
whole point.
It was
That
great.
was like the first American Gigolo type movie where he was
love
like
that Shampoo.
banging all the girls. He was
Goldie Hawn, Julie Christie. It's
that
great.
he was doing their hair and doing something else.
I said, this is a foreign War of the Worlds. This is nice. It's probably worth about 100, 150 bucks.
Right?
War of the Worlds is nice.
Okay, so
This is a cool one, not an image you see too often. It's pretty neat. Italian, this is Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian.
There you go.
Here's
That's
one
nice.
you're gonna love. Look, this was in the deal.
Oh man, that's
Like
great.
nothing you've ever seen
Gorgo.
before. Gorgo.
You know, speaking of Gorgo or monsters from the deep, I want to talk about this one trailer which we want to put on, or you can go and find it. Godzilla. The new Godzilla is coming out, man, and Rodan is back. They started to talk about it at the end of the last Kong, Skull Island. They were talking on the wall caves. There was little images in hieroglyphics, like my writing, of Rodan and Mothra and Ghidra, and they are all back. I am trying to get the actors for my comic book convention, so we're hoping that these guys will come. The guy who plays them, but this is great. I love this one. I'll buy this. How much? $100.
Yeah, please.
It's a window card. It's only that. It's not that much
I paid
more.
$400 for it.
Couple of hundred, maybe
I
retail.
paid $400
Really?
for it.
It's a nice
Get your
Gorgo
money
card.
done. Get your money.
1961. You know what the deal is with Gorgo? This is Gorgo, and they find out that it's just the little Gorgo, and the mom comes looking for him. It's like 10 times bigger. It's great at the end of the movie. That's the whole killer. Gorgo was great. And the comic book, Gorgo the comic, by Ditko, the first few issues.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
Gorgo, yeah.
That's why we love it more. Because
Well, that's
Gorgo
why
was
you
cool.
love it more. You love that Gorgo.
Yeah, I
Ditko
love the
stuff,
Charlton
yeah.
comic. There was a few Charltons I would buy. Gorgo and Konga were really cool.
Yeah. How about High School Hellcats? Do you like the bad girl stuff?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Sharon, do you like bad girls? No. What must a good
Taboo,
girl
like
say?
taboo sobrieties. They give them what they
You
want.
know,
Look,
I've
I think I
cosplayed as Harley.
I think I can buy this for my ex-girlfriend. There you go.
Everybody I've ever cosplayed as was a bad girl. I like bad girls.
Okay.
I could do that.
This is cool stuff.
You just
I like the Gorgo.
pretend.
Whoa. Okay, Sharon, you're gonna. This is getting hot and heavy
All
here.
right, so this.
Oh, whoa! Look at the Batman.
There's no
David,
way
are you
like
out
this.
there watching this?
Yeah,
I might buy
David.
this. How much is this?
Back. I can't hang these up, Ant.
1,000.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah.
What's that one?
Well, this is from a Batman serial where they would chapter number 12, and it features an insert of Robin. So I mean, it's cool.
It's cool.
I like
Batman and
this.
the Boy Wonder, New Adventures, chapter 12. What do you got there, Mike?
What I said the last one, 500, 600. Oh, it's Robin though. It's a nice full shot of Robin. That's great.
Yeah.
It's really
So that was in the deal, and is available.
Wow, this is a good investment. Buy this piece.
Well, we
Buy
already
this
saw
piece.
High
This is
School
great. They just sold a 6-sheet of Batman for, I think it went for $20,000.
Wow.
From
Is that like the only one known?
actually, I had one that we sold in San Diego about 5 years ago for $12,000.
How about
So
this
that was
one,
a good.
Mike?
This is a great
Speaking
investment.
of
Oh
the
my
king
God!
of all monsters.
Yes. How much is this? This is great. Now, the thing is Mothra. Mothra is the thing.
Oh, really?
They call it the thing in this. Yeah, so it's Godzilla versus Mothra. And I had the Rodan
Why
3
are you
sheet.
recycling
The
these?
giant Rodan 3 sheet.
I think I'm.
And I had a price on it. It just doubled. How much is this?
1,200.
No. For the one sheet? Oy vey.
It's in pretty nice
Oy
condition.
vey, it is nice. You probably get $1,000 for this.
All right, well.
I think the Batman is a great investment.
Well, it's from 1964,
Yeah.
and it's probably the second best thing from 1964, right, honey? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm the first thing.
Besides the Beatles?
The Beatles, Anthony Snyder.
Daredevil #1.
How about a low-level
Daredevil
DC, the low-level DC cover?
There you
for
go, Bamba. Are they making a movie out of Bamba? He's on his way.
No, I don't
They
think
made
so.
one, La Bamba.
La Bamba, yeah, Viva La Bamba.
That's
Okay,
great.
So I got a
Who's the
couple-
artist here?
Spiegel,
Spiegel.
right? Dan Spiegel.
Yeah, you go Jack. Jack Sparling.
Jack Sparling.
There you go.
My fault.
Jack Sparling.
Art guy should know
Jump
who
up
did
and down.
art.
How many Bambas were there? I think this is it. There was only 6 or 7.
Very little.
Yeah,
because
that was it.
It's
This
kind
is
of like
probably the last
Tarzan,
one.
The Jungle Boy
It's a
thing.
12-cent DC cover.
So this is a really cool page because this is a
Oh.
very early Popeye page, and I need to reference it because I haven't had time. I just came from the deal. Book 7, Book 3. It says Popeye.
Was it a 4-color?
Yeah, it might have
or a
been.
showcase or something? Popeye
Yeah.
#3, page 23.
I got to reference it because it might be Bob Sagendorf. I'm not sure whether he did any comic book pages or if he did very few, but there's an
This
outside
is worth
chance.
thousands.
If it's a Sagendorf comic page, which I've never had before. I've never had
Right,
one
you
before.
hit the comic strips.
I've
Get the
had
comic strips,
strips, that's
which
no
is
problem.
the strips from the
Getting
original
strips is no problem.
newspapers.
But I mean, these guys didn't think that much of comic books. They wanted to do the strips. The strips can get syndicated to 1,000 newspapers when they were working. They got paid a penny a piece for every day that those strips were in each paper. So think about that. They were making $100 a day in 1948. These guys became wealthy that way, and that's why all these comic book artists wanted a strip.
And
So-
when speaking of strips, one of the earliest and one of my favorites, Winsor McCay doing Little Nemo.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
amazing art.
Here's
That's
a
some of the
cool-
earliest and coolest stuff,
Now,
which we'll have an amazing exhibit of Winsor McCay stuff at Big Apple.
This is kind of has some personal.
This is Kurt
nostalgia
Swan?
about it. Yeah, because this gentleman that I did buy from his family this collection, he unfortunately passed away, but it's my job to recycle his collection back into the collector's community. She was happy when I left. I don't like that situation, but it is a big part of our business that we have to deal with and be polite with.
You know, it sounds like
You
a
know.
line, but like the man who sold me the mantles. You know, he had that mantle for 15 years, and he literally said, you know, I want this to go to somebody that's going to own it like I will.
Right.
And I'm the interim broker. Yeah, I'm going to make money on it. Yeah, I'm going to pay the guy money, and I'm going to find the buyer. But that is what we do. I mean, people ask me what I collect sometimes. What I buy is what I collect. I do like certain things. I have Marvel stuff that I love and I'll keep. And for this show, I brought out some of my finest stuff, the T-shirts and things like that now you own that I'll buy back from you.
Okay, well, I hope you make a lot more money with your mantle rookies so you can buy them back for at least what I paid. So yeah, I'm
It's right.
providing. You know, I'm doing my job by recycling this material back into the collector's market, that we can, and they can feel better about the fact that the gentleman who passed away, his collections, is all going to a good home. So that's important to state. I actually sold him this piece.
And how much is this piece now?
I think it's worth a good $1,500. I mean, a good Kurt Swan commission.
So if someone
is
offered
hard
you
to come by.
$1,000, would you take it?
When? On this couch right now?
No, I'm wondering if there's somebody out there that wants it.
I don't know. Is anybody? They said it's live. Oh, cool. Let's see. We are trying to look at our feed, our chats, but I got to remind you again. We're only on Mixer. And we're not on Facebook right now, guys. So
this was
sorry.
the first piece of art you showed me, and this made my mouth open. Gaga.
All right,
I went gaga.
There's 2 Frazettas here.
Two Frazettas. Now, I like 2 Mickey Mantles.
Right.
One but 2. Wow, what
This
the heck is
funny.
this?
It's kind of
This
a
is
gag.
Frank Frazetta does Vaughn Baudet.
It's kind of a gag.
Look,
where this,
Baudet here's his influence. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny. It's the kind of thing that can sell well to, somebody
Not
in
your
person.
normal Frank Frazetta piece.
No, it came from the family.
Oh, wow.
It
This was in a
published-
book.
It was published in a Frazetta book.
Oh, boy.
So, what?
With the certificate and everything
With
else
the
you need.
mushroom penis girl jumping on it. It's fun.
Girl with mushrooms.
Yeah, well.
Original.
yeah,
Pen and
whatever.
ink. 12 inches times 11 and a half. Pen and ink, Frank Frazetta. Wow.
Frazetta's a-
But
Signature.
To be
Okay.
honest, I mean that's a doodle for him. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I mean this is just like a
Right.
gag. It's a joke. It's funny. He didn't even sign it, but I mean and then here
He didn't even sign it. Right. Okay.
here we have a page where he was working out some cover prelims for I think Conan covers.
Wow.
Yeah. So I a
Oh,
couple of
wow.
those-
That's interesting. It definitely is Conan covers.
right because I
But is this then late 60s? No, the Conan covers
Yeah.
were anywhere from
That's beautiful.
66 through 69. They were 65.
Wasn't it mid-60s to mid-70s?
Yeah. Almost early 70s.
Okay.
Whoa.
So I have a special client, Dale, if you're watching. She loves Frazetta prelims. It just gives you an insight into the mind of the masters he was trying to work out with his final draft of a published cover.
World Trade
I-
Art Gallery.
I doubt.
The name of that, huh?
What? It's
The
somebody,
World Trade Art Gallery is where it was done from.
Well, it was framed there,
Yeah,
but I don't know
yeah.
when. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 prelims on this with some sketches. And there might be some stuff on the back because they would use paper. It's got a really
Should
good
open this up and
signature.
look at it.
It's got a good signature. It's
Really
good
nice.
right-handed signature.
Not been on the market before, as I know.
Yeah, well, so I don't know if even Frank was working with editors and he had to get approval. I think the approval in his head was more important than some editor that was, working at Bantam Books or whatever. You know what I mean?
Lancer and Lancer.
And Bantam?
Yeah.
But it's Bantam too, right?
Lancer, I believe, was the one that did the
Okay,
most.
but that's a good signature. That's a good vintage
That really
signature
is nice.
from the right,
And it's-
way before
and
the
it's a
stroke.
sword and sorcery.
Look at
It's
this.
gotta be
Look
Conan.
at this. That's a finished piece. That's a finished piece.
It's a sword and sorcery warrior. If
Oh,
it's not,
big
obviously,
snake.
this looks so much like a couple of the covers.
Yeah, with the babe.
I'll find the covers at the show this weekend to match them up against. I'll find the paperbacks.
Yeah, so I mean, this.
And
if
is
you
this
just
for
add
sale
them up-
now?
Yeah, I mean, if you just added these up in like $500 to $700 a piece, I mean, $500, $1,200. This was less, maybe $1,500. This is more, $2,500, and this is like really finished. I think this is like $3,500 a piece.
That's all.
You know? Well,
Wow.
yeah. Well, the family released a lot of stuff when he passed away, so I mean, there's been a lot of stuff on the market that has.
This is an awesome collection.
Yeah, so I'm doing my job by recycling.
Is all this
it.
going to be at the show in Boston?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it and have it available in Boston for the first time. And me and Mike will be sharing a couple booths there. So if you're in Boston, you're going to be attending the show, let us know. We're going to be buying. We have money to buy.
All right.
Buy, sell, trade all weekend in Boston,
I think it's
guys.
time to sell you some comic books.
All right, well,
You ready?
you want to do a deal?
Yeah, let's do a deal. Let's do it. Then we can do Sharon as a cosplay from the show
Yeah.
from San Diego, right? Let's do
Yeah.
a deal, and then we'll go to Sharon's cosplay.
That sounds
Okay,
good.
Sharon, there's a piece of art over there. Could you
Okay.
bring that strange-looking art with the orange background?
Yeah.
And we'll work that in with these comic books. Let's see, Sharon. Say it, Sharon. What's
In the box.
there? You go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so we have some comic books. Oh, it's a DC day. Almost DC day. Let's take a look.
Oh,
what do we
nice.
got? Almost all DC.
Well,
10 cents.
10
12
cents.
cents, my favorites. Now, okay. Now, somebody on the show mentioned that I handle the comic books or they have to be handled a certain way. Yes, I like the comic books. I will handle them like I'm reading them or enjoying them. But when the comic book is more valuable, we will take our time with it and we will be more precious about the material, okay? But, these are comics that are meant to be looked at. The ones that are like that, they're reading copies. These are a little better. It's a nice early Strange Tales. So Strange Tales. So here's the story with Strange Tales, okay? So Strange Tales started as a pre-superhero Marvel from the Timely World, the Atlas, the Timely World. Started with a number 1. It went up to the most important Strange Tales, becomes number 89. I believe it's 89 is the Fing Fang Foom issue.
Okay.
First appearance of Fing Fang Foom. Okay, which I think should be part of the Marvel world. Then at number 100 was the last one, which is my favorite, The Man in the Maze. What a great story.
Oh, wow.
So that's the last superhero. Number 1 becomes the start of the Human Torch, the superhero world of this. Then at number 110, of course, who comes? Doctor Strange arrives in number 110. Okay, so you have the Torch and Doctor Strange with Ditko writing that. Then at number 114, you have the first appearance of Captain America, the real true first appearance. He wasn't really Captain America, he was an imposter making believe he was Captain America.
But it wasn't Steve Rogers, and
it was also Jack Kirby drawing it.
It was a guy called the Acrobat.
Right.
It was what we call a tryout. They were trying to figure out, hey, you know, is the world ready to get this superhero
The
back?
first 100 issues were these monsters: Pildor, the Plunder from Outer Space, Fing Fang Foom, the 5 who volunteered for outer space, Karnov's plan, all these strange stories. Then you have 101, the Human Torch arrives, Doctor Strange, and then it continues until number 134, which the last issue of the Human Torch and the Thing hang out for a while, and you have Doctor Strange, and then at 135, the first appearance of
Nick Fury, an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
S.H.I.E.L.D. What a cool cover that is, man.
Right?
Wow, that 135.
And that's when Nick Fury was, the timeline was going forward from World War II into the 60s, and he'd become Colonel Nick Fury, and he was heading.
Right, this was earlier, but that came a few years after, and he became part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, he was the director, he was the leader.
Supreme Headquarters for Espionage, SHE, Enforcement, International Law Division.
Yeah,
something to that effect. Okay, there you go. That's S.H.I.E.L.D. That's what S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for.
Now, the reason why this comic book, as a Marvel #1, has failed to perform in ever-rising market values is because they changed him to Samuel L. Jackson and not a World War II veteran. Steve Rogers wakes up in the movie, and the S.H.I.E.L.D. director is Samuel L. Jackson. They call him Nick Fury, but it's what? It's 40 years later?
I still think they're going to do something with this Sergeant Fury, and this Sergeant Fury comic is still one of the first 8 Marvel #1s, first appearances that you can buy. That's still affordable. You can buy it for under $1,000. You can get a reading copy, a good condition copy, something. I think this is a book. It may take a year, it may take a couple of years, but this is a solid investment. There's same as all of them, supply and demand. There's as many of these around or less of us than there are of Avengers #1s or Daredevil #1s.
I don't think so. I think people actually threw these away.
Which makes it even more valuable. Okay? Really? This is a great investment. High grades, these are impossible to get.
Yeah.
Anything over a 7
these were
or an 8.
back and forth so many times between kids. Hey, I'll trade you for this one. I don't like this one
very much. If you can't afford a high grade, a G or VG copy, a 2, 3, 4, these are great investments. I think these are going to be double. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my own money. I'm going to invest in that this weekend. I'm going to buy one, and I'm going to show you exactly how this performs over the next few months.
But what is this?
This is a piece of art that I'm going to sell you with these comic books. This is a piece of art by one of our favorite artists.
Okay, but I don't dig personal works.
Alfred E. Newman. He created, same artist,
Norman Mingo?
This is Mingo. This is Mingo.
Norman Mingo.
Yes. Or Kelly? Is there a Kelly? Norman Mingo, yes.
Kelly Freeze.
Kelly Freeze. This is Kelly Freeze. This is Kelly.
Oh, Kelly Freeze.
There's the Kelly Freeze piece of art. How about that? It's cool now, right?
Now,
all of a sudden
it takes on. Norman, What Me Worry.
I think that was Kelly Freeze did that as well.
Well, the first art was on a comic book format on the cover of...
Oh, no, it was on a magazine. On Mad Magazine. Mad Magazine number 30.
Okay.
That's the first Alfred E. Newman.
Okay, so that was a comic book then?
No, magazine. First comics for 23 was the first comic, then it became magazine.
Oh, yeah, it was going the other way.
First magazine was 24, right. First 23 were comics, and then to escape the code, they became a magazine.
Right.
So we can work that into it. Okay, so we're not talking about the Sergeant.
You got to tell me which direction this thing goes before I buy it.
It goes this
Oh, that's
way.
what you meant. No, Sharon, it actually turns around and goes the other way. But that's what I love about
No, it
this.
goes this way.
It's cool. It's Alfred E. Newman art.
Ooh,
This one is really nice. I didn't want to sell this because this is a gradable copy of Strange Tales. This is a really nice early copy. These early Strange Tales pre-superheroes.
Well, there's his name.
All right, let's concentrate on the comics here, folks. You might find something interesting here.
All right. I don't know.
Look, this person bought this book from
don't
you
like
at one
it.
point.
Oh my God.
Is that crazy? Look at that.
Oh yeah, it's the wrong one though.
My book came from a different one, but nevertheless, there you go.
Hang that up, so he tries to forget. We forget about that one.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll fit.
It's a great piece. And we have something
fun.
else here. We're going to make a package deal. We've got a World's Fair collection of stuff.
Oh, but
1939 New York World's Fair.
That's your wheelhouse, not mine.
But we've got this. We've got these amazing spoons. Look in the box. I
know,
just
but-
bought them this morning.
I just, you know.
No 39 New York World's Fair stuff. Okay, I'll take them to Boston.
Yeah,
The people
take 'em
from
to
Boston will love these. Okay, we can work into Sergeant Fury #1, but I value this. I value this. Like, this is
Too much.
It's like $300,
It's a number
even missing
one.
a
That's
page,
pretty
but
cool.
not from the story.
It's missing a page.
no.
Page not from the story.
You need to sell that to somebody that you don't like.
Coverless Marvel #1s and low-grade Marvel #1s are now the easiest things
They're
to
the
buy and
hottest
sell.
thing on earth.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it's
I must
amazing,
admit.
right? You can't have enough
You get
of them.
#1s.
Okay.
So when do you want to?
Okay, wait,
are
we're almost
we
at it.
live
We
on
almost got the
Mixer
deal
until
here.
we're done?
Anthony, I got
Okay.
the deal for you. You ready?
We are live on Mixer, guys. You guys
Look,
keep asking.
these are
are we
great books.
live?
Look at
we
these
are
little
live
books.
on Mixer.
These little books. Look, I'm making a package here.
Okay, wait.
Seduction
What
of the
are those little
Innocent,
books?
and you have something. It's like $200. You have something that you bought something from me last week or the week before. You bought that original receipt from the Donald Duck book from
yeah, that's at
1942.
home.
Yeah.
10 cents from J.C. Penney.
That's at
Okay, I have
our
something
house.
here. This is not brand new, a 12-cent Marvel, and the person bought it, and here is his receipt for, read it, 12 cents.
12 cents.
That he bought it
cool.
from. And what's the year on the receipt? Can you see that? Does it say? Does it have the whole thing there? 67? It should say
It's July 13th.
67.
But it doesn't
Okay.
say.
But nevertheless,
No, it
there's
doesn't
the
say the
receipt from buying the comic book for 12 cents. This is a gradable comic book.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. So I want every time Not Brand Eck, I call him Eck, comes up, I want to bring up the story about when I went to Stan Lee's speaking
And-
engagement in Las Vegas when I was 10 years old, sitting in the
And you
front row.
remember that so
Yes.
vividly?
And
That's great.
He opened up the floor to questions, and I go, "Why did you cancel Not Brand Eck?" And he goes, "Oh, well, it just wasn't distributing well." So I love that.
That should be the name of a show. Why did you cancel?
Not Brand Eck?
Maybe not Brand X.
So I still have the tape. If you guys are, if there's people interested in that, I still have
I want that.
the tape. And I want to make a DVD of it and make it
fun.
available.
Anthony,
to
I got a
people.
deal for you. I don't know if you've been doing the numbers, but that's great. I want that tape. Let's do it. We should put on the opening collage. By the way, we're still working on the theme song with our friend John Dolmayan, which you saw some of his interview. Some of
Yeah.
his stuff from Torpedo Cut, some of his the interview we did with him, and there'll be more and more of that coming
From
along.
his fabulous store, Torpedo Comics.
Hi,
in Las
John, what's
Vegas.
happening?
Amazing store ever.
The most amazing store
Look.
ever. He put a lot of money into that, more
The-
money than anybody else.
These
has
are
ever put
$25
into
to
a comic
$50
book store.
books. You can grade
They're
these.
25 to 50
These-
cents.
No, these are good books. If you don't
What are-
value
what are-
these,
what are
I'll keep
those?
this.
Those
These
are
are special
undersized
editions, yeah,
things.
in really nice condition. These were special, and they're in the guide. You can look them up. Okay, so I got the deal for all of this. The artwork, and the comic books and all this stuff.
Okay, explain to me why were these toy related?
You know.
Audio edition.
Oh, yeah,
were
these
they
were the
so-
video ones. These were in the little cassette. They came with a cassette.
Oh.
Okay, but to get these in nice shape and pull these out is really hard.
And they got some cool reprints in them. Look at this. Right.
Oh, the
Mr.
back stuff, okay.
Mixoplick.
So-
how do you say Mr. Mixoplick?
Mitstips is what I was taught in the 1970s by my good
Mixoplick,
friend Philip Hecht,
Mixoplick.
who was the greatest Superman collector that I ever know. Still my friend
Mixoplick.
that I've ever known. Okay, Mitstips
Mixoplick.
but I've heard a dozen variations
Mixoplick.
on it since then,
It's
and
hard.
everyone sometimes sound like it's accurate. Where is the Mitstips Here it
Sharon,
is.
read it, Sharon. Sharon,
There
read
it is.
it.
And this is him.
Mixoplick.
Yeah, there you go. That could work too.
Mixoplick.
Okay, so anyhow, I got the deal for you with all of this stuff.
You're Mixoplick.
And
With the
they
art,
are-
I mean, this is like you can put $400 or $500 on that. Pretty easy for a nice piece of art.
Receipt.
$1,000 for everything.
Oh my God.
That's a great price. That's an awesome price, and you get the Mary Marvel Marching Society, and you get William Shatner. It's like being at CBC. What is it? Home Shopping Network. Only you can't reproduce this stuff.
Oh, the Bill Shatner fan club.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Okay.
That's funny.
Oh, you like that.
So
Okay.
he's going to be in Boston on Sunday, and I hope to say hi to him because I'm a huge original Star Trek fan.
Oh.
I've even watched that Star Trek Continues where they parodied the first series, and I want to give a shout out to these guys. They did one thing that was absolutely brilliant. They did Mirror Mirror, and they picked up from when Kirk leaves the transporter room of the evil version of the Enterprise, and then they pick up what happens on that ship afterwards.
Wait. Where and what is this that we're talking about?
Yeah, this is it's basically fan TV that was created in the original Star Trek episode.
Well, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, they make an episode, then they take like 3 or 4 years to raise the money to make another episode, you know. And Sharon watched a little bit of it. He had the guy who plays Kirk. Basically wrote it, produced it, made it happen.
He's
so
amazing.
that's cool.
So there you go.
What do you
Okay,
got?
we got a few little things. This is like
1,000.
the Great Daisy air rifle book with the Buck Rogers on the back cover, but man, it's been through the ringer.
falling apart,
Normally
yeah.
this would be like $200 or $300. It's probably worth $25 as it is, but you could just put it on eBay and see what happens. Happy holidays.
Maybe we can put it up for 99 cents and let it get bid down.
Yeah, we can do that too. This is really beat up, but supposedly it's go for like $20 or more, even as is.
What, a flashbang?
Yeah, flashback, something. So we throw that in, it's $1,000 for the lot.
So you threw in absolutely no
That's $50
value for
worth of
another
stuff.
$1,000.
You like the not brand X. That's cool with the receipt.
Okay, but that's
By the way,
a $50 book at best.
I'm taking this with me. This is my reading tip of the week. If you've never read a Hunter Thompson book, this is one of the best. Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail 72. Being that the midterm elections are coming up, mid-year elections are coming up, read this. You may want to vote for the rest of your life, or you may never want to vote again. I'm not sure, but this is as political as we're going to get. Read this book. This is an original hardcover version with the dust jacket.
Cool.
Worth $100 to $200 in nice shape. These can go for $500 to $1,000. This is a great. This is my tip, my reading copy of the week. Okay. This right here, you've got your money in this almost.
No, it's not.
Sure, this is 500 plus with the comic books
Come
here.
on.
Mike,
This
don't
is
try to hold me up just because we're on streaming TV.
$1,000. You got the whole lot, including the art.
Yeah,
This
but
is 200.
Should I do a
Seduction of the
drum
Innocent.
roll?
That's a 54 reprint.
No, it's not. This is not the reprint. This is not the
it
reprint. This is an original.
I just looked it up. It's not the
reprint. Yeah, but it's 54. It's 1954. It's not 60s. It's 54.
But it's
It's a second printing. It's not first
a
printing.
second printing.
But you want this too. And first printing is going for $500 or more.
it looks like $600.
No. The art alone is going to be half that.
Come on.
I couldn't
The
do
what?
that. I wouldn't sell this for that. Take this out and I'll do it for $9.
You want to trade me for the Gorgo poster?
No.
No.
I'm not that. I like the Godzilla stuff. But the Gorgo, no.
No?
I like that.
You like Gorgo?
Yeah, I love Gorgo. Come on, let's make a deal on this. Look, we break it down.
Now, tell me about this Star Tours. That was a Star
I don't know
Wars
about that.
version on Disneyland way before they owned it, 1986.
That's wild.
Okay, 900 with everything.
What is
900, but it's broken.
And here's my final deal. No, I can't do that.
Done being
I'll throw in
broken.
$100. This is $100 to $200 worth of World's Fair spoons.
Oh, we got the
Spoons.
spoons
Make that
in
a
the deal.
thousand.
Spoons.
Hold
I
on.
want to show you the
Spoon!
Okay, and you can have all my
That's
comic
it.
strip art. Here you go, the whole thing.
I know, but those are literally like.
There's $100 worth of stuff at least.
maybe.
Still, even as is. You can have the whole thing.
What's in
There
the
you
box? What's in that box?
go. This is interesting. It's a bear.
Are these real silver
bear.
or just like?
A little bear?
Yep. I just bought it from a. This is the lady that made this bear is going to be doing the pendants for Big Apple.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Look, Sharon, little bear for your youngest child.
All right, I'll work that in. You can give it to Sharon.
see, let me see, let me
$1,000
see,
for
let me see.
everything.
Okay, I'll do that.
Done deal.
did
Wait,
it.
come on, put the gun in the money.
All right, so.
Yes. Wait a
cute.
minute.
All right, so.
I got fooled. This ain't the real thing here.
I hope you
Is this
spend it.
exchangeable?
Go spend it and see
Is
what
this
happens.
exchangeable?
So, we need to take a breath after that exhausting deal. So, can we go to Sharon's cosplay corner?
Speaking of Sharon, are you
From
giving this to
Miss
Sharon
Daisy,
officially? That's a
yes.
beautiful
I
piece.
love it.
Her name is Magapoo, She's amazing. I met her in San Diego, standing online, and she does all this stuff. She's going to do the Big Apple pendants.
The jeweler who made this is named Magapoo.
Magapoo. Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Magapoo.
And she wears a unicorn outfit. She's so cool. We love her. Hey.
Cute little
That's neat. That's neat.
So can we go to Sharon's cosplay?
Can we go to the
producer
cosplay?
man?
From San Diego
Hey,
Comic-Con.
producer man.
Cool. Here we go.
Sharon, intro it.
Yeah. We were at the San Diego Comic-Con, and I had so much fun interviewing. Hi, everybody. I'm at the San Diego Comic-Con. You're with Selling Heroes. I'm looking for some cosplayers around here. I mean, I've seen some amazing costumes. I'm really excited to see what we can find. It's like, it's an endless amount of, holy crap! What is this? Oh my God, it's an alien! Oh! No. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh my gosh, such detail.
Thank you.
Can you make that sound effect? Oh my God, there's teeth in there. What?
Thank you.
How many people have you terrified today?
Probably 50 plus.
50 plus. I'm sure that is a lot. Let me see. How far do those teeth come out?
Right there. Well, there's the little mouth inside too.
That's great. What inspired you? Of course you love aliens, but
Very much so. Yeah. I love the whole aesthetic of the movies and everything. I was a big fan of H.R. Giger, who designed the alien for the movies. So it's kind of, I haven't done.
Do you want to take off your mask and I can get to know you a little better. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
What's your name?
Jordan.
Hi, Jordan. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Are you having fun here at the Comic-Con?
A lot of fun.
Is this your first time? How many times have you
This
lived
is
here? Where are you from?
From Orange County, and this is our, I think, 7th year.
Oh, cool.
7th year. So my sister over there, she
Okay.
Anyways, we come every year.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to make a point of it. And this is the first year I've done like a really big over-the-top costume. So
It's amazing.
Thank you very much.
And it has sound effects and everything.
it does. It has the whole deal.
It's incredible.
Thank
And
you.
How did you get this? Is it handmade?
It's a handmade piece. I don't know. Disclosure, I did not make it myself. I'm not very artistically inclined, but I always envy the people with amazing costumes. So, yeah, it's just all made, foam and different plastics, and yeah.
And you were saying you really like the artist.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, always.
It's Geiger, right?
Yes.
Cool.
So.
Very neat.
Thank you.
Are you out to look for any collectibles here, or?
I did most of my shopping yesterday.
And what did you get?
I got lots of collectible toys and all sorts of many things I don't need, but ended up getting anyways because once you're in the environment, it's hard to say no.
Nobody needs any of it, but oh my gosh, we do need it.
Exactly.
I think we do need it.
Exactly. I need more shelves, and then I can start displaying it all. But yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me on.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for
You have a
stopping
good rest
and
of your
scaring the
con.
crap out of me.
I know.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
That's funny.
Yay! Wasn't that amazing? Hope you enjoyed
Live
that.
from Lee.
Let her talk once.
I hope you, I hope you enjoyed the Alien at the Comic-Con. That was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go to the Fan Expo in Boston because they have an amazing cosplay contest. It's the incredible, you get to go to Toronto if you win.
Oh, really?
And compete there for the Master of Cosplay Award, and you can win $5,000.
Yeah, Fan Expo.
I'll bring my Doctor Who outfit.
Has bought several shows in North America, and they're having regional.
Oh, they're interlocking them.
Finals.
They're creating a Fan Expo universe.
Yeah, and then
How nice.
Yeah.
And the
Great.
winner of
They
this
are.
one
Cool.
in Boston can go.
And then if you win Boston, the winner of Boston, the winner of where else are they?
Florida.
Florida. Yeah.
Who were those people in your video?
That was really cool. I can't remember their names
Really?
right now, actually.
Cute little alien.
But that was so fun.
Well, you're
That was one of
adorable
many.
in your interviews, and you're very sweet with people, and we want to see more of them.
Yeah, we like
I'm
the
gonna
cosplay.
I get to go to the Terrific Con.
Terrific Con, that'll be in 10 days.
Hulkbuster,
So
Bumblebee, all
another
kinds
thing
of
we
stuff.
may be like we talked about going from Wednesdays because we want to be at the shows. Some of them start on Thursdays, and we need to be there buying and spending money and getting stuff so we can bring it on here and I can sell it to him or sell it to you or whatever.
Somebody is saying on the chat, well, I'm trying to respond to some chat because this is all we have. The monitor wasn't working. Carbo and Anthony should cosplay. First of all, Mike is cosplaying as a human being.
There you go.
And, I'm always, I'm never cosplaying.
No, you did.
So there you
Do
go.
remember?
Oh, I did Elvis once.
Elvis was good
Elvis
at the
was
wedding.
good.
Yeah.
At my
That was so
last
good.
wedding.
Yeah.
There'll probably be another one in a few years.
Yeah.
But there you go.
He was
Yes.
great, Elvis.
Yeah, that one where Stan Lee was supposed to marry you.
Yeah.
And, but.
I would have married Stan. I would have said I do.
Chris has a band called the Dead Elvi, and I really want to learn Viva Las Vegas and sing it as a Elvis zombie. That's a goal
Okay.
I have in my life.
That's
so
great.
That
If
would be
Chris
good.
can teach me when he comes back, our musical director, Chris Palmerini, who is out gigging tonight, so he makes more money doing that than I can pay him. So
Okay.
Mike, let's talk about CGC.
Last but not least, we're gonna at the end of the show, which will be ending in a couple of minutes, we're gonna have an interview with Mr. Matt Nelson, who is the conservator, the respected emperor conservator of the comic book world, so to speak.
Well, he's the guy that made pressing famous and popular, and it brought,
And respected and accepted.
yeah. All of that. So I talked with him about that. I do. We have about a 10-minute interview that we're going to dangle on the end of the episode that you can watch and learn all about Matt Nelson and why he was important in this business. I mean, he sold his business to CGC and he became part of it, so that if you send your comics into CGC and get them pressed, I mean, you're hopefully maximizing their value.
And if you've got comics and you want to sell them, we'll buy them as is. You want us to help you send them in, you can do it yourself, or we can show you the ways to do it, or whatever needs to be done, or share some profits and we can maximize. I mean, I've sold tons of comics to friends of mine who are dealers who send them back in and get a higher grade sometimes just because they do the work.
You get them in again. I mean, it depends on how many times they need to get hit or pressed. I say that because I do my own pressing. And, like a book like this, like their first appearance, Thanos.
That's it. That's the big one.
Cool.
And,
Speaking of Thanos, interlude. I just noticed on the Google they talked about that there was a hint of the Captain Marvel movie in Avengers 3, in the last Avengers, that one of the henchmen, Thanos' henchmen, those Dark Lords or evil, whatever they were, had a dangling piece of cloth that was the same colors as Captain Marvel on it, meaning they had met with Captain Marvel, the woman in the past, in a battle or something. So they were alluding to that. Yeah, somebody found it. I mean, they're keeping that Avengers into the minds of the fans. It's just amazing. And you know what? I'm falling for every part of it. It's great.
A souvenir of the battle?
I guess, or it got stuck on his piece, and it was a bad battle that went wrong or right. I'm not even sure yet.
Well,
so it's very interesting, isn't it?
Interesting.
There is also the way that it could be a different Captain Marvel that was defeated.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Right?
There was all these theorems, but nevertheless, there it is. So it's all happening.
A clue.
And
Easter egg.
Big Apple opens. Big Apple opens the same weekend that Captain Marvel the movie opens. The 8th is Big Apple. That's a Friday. As Captain Marvel, that's a Friday, March 8th, 2019, and Big Apple is March 9th and 10th. It's gonna be the biggest Big Apple yet. I promise.
Yeah, and I'm working with Mike on getting some superstar A-list artists. Something that hasn't been lacking, but maybe is a category that we're going to concentrate more on.
We should do a second interview with you and Matt at that show.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe have a little dinner with Matt.
Coming?
And if you want to come and ask him questions, I'm probably going to be bringing him in. If you have any questions that you want to submit to him, or questions submit to us, and we'll get him to answer them for you.
Yeah,
if you have specific questions that you want to ask, why, what, how, what books should and shouldn't get done, we'll be happy to answer them. If we can't, he will.
That I want to put out there is like, pressing and and this kind of even the playing field for people too. you know, give you the chance to be able to find a raw collection from your aunt or you know, some lady down the street that passed away or whatever. You know, you got to find that collection and you got to press it and maximize. So not just dealers.
Point in fact, within the last 2 weeks, I bought a couple of Mantle rookies and went on the road. Anthony just bought a deal hours ago. You got to be in it to win it, as they say. You got to be around. You know,
I was when I got home.
You got to answer your phone.
I got home on a Monday, and that day I got home at 3 o'clock Monday night, and Sunday night, and that day I went on a comic deal where I spent a few grand, and there was an Amazing Fantasy 15 in it. There was a Avengers 1 in it. And then I went and did an art deal in Queens, and I spent a lot of money.
Oh man, you beat me to my hometown.
Yeah,
Queens. Holy cow! I'm gonna start putting ads in the local papers now.
Well,
that helps too.
I love this book. So
yeah, you love it. I just had too many of them to love this one.
Yeah, but this was the book.
I've just had bought and sold too many of them.
Story too, and I'll tell it again.
Oh gosh, one more time.
I went to this 7-Eleven in the spinny rack, and I saw this book, and I was like, "Wow, this is going to be a good one." I was 10 years old, and I bought 2 of them.
Yeah.
And,
10 years old.
Yeah, 10 years old.
Mine is Daredevil #1.
Literally,
I was 7 when Daredevil 1 came out. I told my mom, "Give me $1," and I bought 8 of them.
No way, really?
Yeah, I sold them for $5 a piece at the comic convention in 1970 from 12 cents. That was pretty good. You know, and they were mint. 9.4s. Now, what's a 9.4 Daredevil 1? 50,000?
I don't
40
know.
grand?
I'd have to look that
30
up.
grand? Something like that. There you go.
So
anyhow,
let's recap some of the things that we talked about today.
Recap. I don't have any
cap we talked about is that we're and we'd like your feedback on if you guys want to like give us some chat about that. We're going to move some of these productions, some of these shows to a store.
Is amazing. It's super cool. It's a really nice place. It's comfortable. There's a parking lot. Come on in.
Yeah.
We'll serve cookies, milk, and milkshakes.
We're going to be live from Leonia, New Jersey.
Yes.
On the Fort Lee Road. You know, and you're going to be driving by, and you're going to see the lights of the studio.
We're going to get buttons that says "Live from Leonia." That's it. You get a button. I'm making the bogey a free button. Live from Leonia.
It's easy
It's right by what?
The George Washington.
GWB.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing live shows from there for New Jersey
Bring your
residents.
stuff to sell and come and talk about your collections. We need you guys in there.
More accessible to our fans and for people that want to do business.
All right, I got more stuff to sell you. I guess I'll be doing it this weekend.
And the other thing is that we're going to be doing more clips from the road.
Yes.
And we're going to be doing
lots more clips.
Cosplay Corner. So if you see her at a show and you know she's got a microphone in her hand, talk to her.
I would love to interview you. Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
We are the superhero pickers of the world.
Yes, we are. So we, you can watch
We'll pick you clean, but we'll fill your pockets too with money.
You can watch American Pickers, or you can just watch us that does it better than both of them and more. That's what
we started the war here. We dare you guys. Come on, let's see who can buy better. Let's go. We'll put us both in a barn at the same end and see who gets to the middle first.
Yeah.
At different ends. There you go. All right. And now, thank you very much for everybody for listening. We'll see you in Boston.
Yeah, we're going to be in Boston.
We'll see you in Connecticut. And then Chicago.
Yep.
Chicago.
Now we're going to go to Matt Nelson's interview about CGC that I did with him in San Diego.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. And we might be going to Wednesday next week.
I had fun today. This was great.
That was fun.
Nice.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Hi. The green girl. The green girl. Excellent. Nice, Sharon. That was fun.
Hey, I'm at San Diego Comic-Con with the famous Matt Nelson, the man who brought pressing comic books into the forefront of the collecting hobby, the first superstar presser coming out of Texas, and then he melded his company into CGC itself. So let's talk about how you got started in pressing and actually improving comic books without getting a restoration label on them that has really just accelerated the whole velocity of comic books and comic book collecting and graded books in general, because that has been the #1 influence in comics and the appreciation of comics for the past 20 years.
Yes. Yeah, well, I was lucky enough to get into restoration in the 90s with Bill Cyril, who was the first professional restorer in the hobby. So I learned a lot of techniques from that.
Okay.
And then when CGC opened in 2000, it gave me an opportunity to, or I realized that if I used a little bit of my techniques that I had learned to improve the surface of the paper and pressing it flat without doing the other restorative techniques to it, then I could actually preserve the unrestored grade and get the grade higher. So once I realized that, then I thought, oh, there's something to this.
There's a business in that.
Yeah. And so the shift went from like restoring low-grade books to actually doing very minimal unrestored work on high-grade books. And so that's how it started in the early 2000s. Ironically, a lot of people just kind of went right over their heads. You know, I tried to sell it as a service early on. Didn't really have anybody that was, you know, it was still early on with CGC, which is understandable. And then, and then obviously.
Were they still in Parsippany at the time? Because I remember going over there when they first opened over there.
Yeah, first couple years, you know, and I'd never even been in a facility until '04. But I was friends with, Steve Morak and Mark Haspel and Chris Friesen. I knew all those guys.
The original guys that opened the original office of CGC.
So it was just a matter of me trying to reverse engineer their grading process during those early years and understand what they were assigning grades to certain defects, and then the ones that I could fix, how much that would raise the grade. So I turned it into a business model where I could screen books and be able to tell into the future, looking at the book, what grade it could potentially be in the future. And that was the basis of the service that I started selling people. And then the next few years it obviously got bigger, word got out, and and then now
So how long do you think it took before it exploded?
It had to go through kind of a vetting process, so to speak.
Yeah.
Probably similar to coins, because they have something similar.
I mean, I guess that in business terms, there's market penetration.
Right.
You had to get the confidence of the collectors out there that were going to get on board with them. Yeah. And now it's become, I mean, there's...
It's like everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
I
mean, there's Sharks, there's Floor Sharks, there's Weekend Warriors, there's everybody that looking to buy a raw book, getting it pressed, getting the grade up, and actually making that money. And having a graded 9.0 when you bought it as an 8.0, it makes a huge difference. I mean, that's like probably, 20% in a grade like that?
Sometimes or way more, It was, initially there was... people were confused. They didn't understand how the book could go up in grade because, the problem was the process is secret, very highly secret. So, you couldn't really, people had to first wrap their heads around what was going on in these books. And so once we got past the point of, of comfort, they understood that they were being professionally done. The books looked really good in hand afterwards. It took a few years, but I would say probably like 08, 09, 10 is when finally we got over that hump of acceptance.
So 5, 6, 7 years, before you really hit your growth curve.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it took a little while, and then so once that happened, then it became, now it's so it's synonymous with grading practically.
Yes.
It's like when you get something graded, you press and grade it. If it needs it, which a lot of books
Well, I
do.
do.
Yeah.
I'm a you know me as an art dealer, but as far as my mail order business, I'm doing comics, I'm doing graded, I'm doing I'm submitting my own stuff, I'm buying stuff that I feel like I can upgrade. I'm multifaceted in that respect, and it's good because I do a lot of business in comics. On this trip, I've done about 25% of my business has been in comics.
Okay.
Yeah. And as far as
and grading, and you're getting that, and you're selling graded copies.
Oh yeah, I only really
copies.
brought my graded stuff, and my CGC graded stuff, and I have deals worked out with Mr. H, to supply him with some stuff, on a VIP program basis, So we get along like that, and that's a big facet of my business because I wanted to, as a businessman, I wanted to diversify as much as I could in the hobby, especially as how hard art was getting to resupply myself or get good stuff, and in that way, and buying comic collections and skimming for the gradable stuff, and then taking that and sending it in, and having a backlog and a process by which maybe it takes 6 months sometimes for stuff to come back based on backlog. I got a pipeline. It's kind of like if you don't go to new movies, then the ones that are coming out on cable are new to you.
Right.
So once you get that, get them rolling like that, and you have 20 tickets out and stuff shows up every week,
Yeah.
That's how I look at it for my customers.
Right, and you're like I look at us as being the people who are, transferring the raw comics over years into CGC holders, because, the new generation of collectors are guys that, and girls that want to build collections of slab books where they have very specific grades. They can, build a collection based on grade, based on pedigree, whatever. And so, yeah, we're part of that process of, pressing, restoring, unrestoring, grading, whatever, getting that book as nice as it can be, getting it into the holder and then out into the wild,
into the collector's market.
Yeah, and we're just part, 'cause,
and finding a home for it.
Yeah, because it's going to dry up eventually.
What's going to dry up?
Like the best stuff, the best vintage books in the world will all end up in holders eventually.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. And so we're just part of that ongoing process before we get there.
Well, like when I found that Batman 1, you're like, oh wow, it's so cool to see one that I haven't seen before, the Usual Suspects, or this or that.
Yeah.
Like guys that, that it had traded hands and they were seeing if they could get that half grade.
Fresh to the market.
Yeah, fresh to the market like that. Now, I think there's a really important point about this and the grading process. The most important point about that is that when new collectors come in, it gives them an easier path to buy books with more confidence. And that's what I like. I mean, that's been a huge thing. Not just the dealers, trying to upgrade stuff, based on services rendered and stuff like that. But, new collectors that, say they saw the Black Panther movie and they want a Black Panther 1 and they're like, oh, a 9.8, that's the best kind, right?
Yeah.
It gives the new collectors confidence in getting involved with the hobby.
Exactly, yeah. It's safer.
Because I'm all about that. I'm all about making customers.
Yes,
I have an eBay store with 30,000 things on it. We send out 100 packages a day, and we have 100% feedback.
Yeah.
And I have a guy, he spends half his day making sure that 100% feedback stays 100%, but,
Yeah, right, exactly. No, yeah, having, the safety that CGC provides for the collectors coming in, especially, because, this is all about getting people into our hobby. The movies is a great path for people to take into the collectibles field, which is what we do.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, having CGC in place like that gives it, such a more safer place for them to be able to buy confidently. Because, the last thing you want to have happen, which used to happen, is new people would come in and they would buy books and then they would find out they got burned. Either they was overgraded or had restoration or whatever. And now they can come in and confidently buy, and it keeps them in the hobby and keeps them collecting. And I think that's just the best thing about growing this.
Well,
industry.
I think you should really be proud of yourself, because you were instrumental in that whole process and that whole phenomenon taking place in the hobby.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
you really should.
I am. I'm very proud.
You've affected a lot of people's lives in a positive manner and helped them facilitate their collecting and getting their happy time back, and that's what it's supposed to be. I'm about making customers and making sure they have a pleasant experience, and that their nostalgia bone and zone gets tickled. Yeah, nostalgia bone gets tickled. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the efforts you made in this hobby and your influence.
Well, Anthony,
thank you,
very
sir.
much. Yeah, appreciate it.
This is Matt Nelson, and we're at San Diego Comic-Con with the guy that helped proliferate pressing of comics and facilitating that in the whole hobby.
Yeah, thanks a lot.